Incompetent Okpebholo'S setting up excuses ahead of spectacular failure. Obaseki says, can you imagine? So, Obaseki, what is his name? Okpebholo is mounting or heaping up a failure, heaping up excuses ahead of his failure to defend his failure, Abi. Now, wow. Former Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has accused his successor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, of already setting up excuses for his inescapable, spectacular failures during his short tenure in office. In a statement to Niger News by his media advisor, Cruzo Osage, the former governor said Okpebholo is aware of the inevitable failure awaiting his administration due to his incompetence and unpreparedness for the office. I think he's just grossly incompetent, I'm telling you. Osage claimed that since assuming office, Okpebholo has done nothing except hop from one project of his predecessor to another to pose for photos. That's a small thing. So he said from commissioning a boutique owned by a known thug to ravenously chasing after white elephant projects like the very laughable and ill thought out aircraft assembling project in Benin. The governor has proven himself utterly clueless about governance and administration. Very smart, Edo State is in one chance. So Obaseki's aide noted that without a plan, vision, or agenda for the development of the state or its people, Okpebholo is gradually running the state aground. So he said there is an impending financial crisis in the state as its internally generated revenue (IGR) is said to nosedive from 8 billion to 2 billion monthly as a result of the financial paralysis caused by tough wars over revenue collection by the thugs he hired and empowered during the last governorship election. His gross mismanagement of the economy is already negatively impacting businesses and ordinary citizens who are finding it increasingly difficult to survive on a daily basis. So in an attempt to cover up this glaring monumental failure in barely 30 days in office, Okpebholo has begun making excuses with false claims about non-existent debt, knowing fully well that in the coming months he will be unable to meet obligations to workers, pensioners, and contractors, among others. Oh boy, Cruzo Sage don't come. Mobility Cruzo Sage never even see this or enough pronounced budget. So he is therefore setting up his predecessor. Okay. His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki as his fall guy by concocting excuses and fabricating lies against the immediate past governor so that when the failure inevitably comes, he can easily point the finger at Obaseki. Osage reminded Okpebholo that he remains the governor of Edo State pending the outcome of the ongoing judicial process, challenging his declaration as the winner of the September 21 governorship election, which was adjourned as one of the most flawed and manipulated elections in the history of Nigeria. He, however, stated that until that decision is overturned, Okpebholo is the one sitting in the office of the governor. So he should do his job. That is it. No excuses will be accepted by the people of Edo State for his failure to pay salaries or pensions as and when due. No one will entertain his lies about the decline in IGR or his inability to govern the state effectively. We urge the general public to disregard his lies. The statements are blatant fabrications and there are no such debts owed. the Edo State government was in a strong financial position when it handed over to the Monday Okpebholo-led government. So we had a balance of about 30 billion naira in the state account. The state was financially stable and there were no such debts, contrary to the false claims being spread by the clueless Governor-select Monday Okpebholo and his media hirelings. He said, real media hirelings. So what it means is that Okpebholo should sit up and he is the governor until proven otherwise. For now, from now till when the case is concluded in the court, he is still the sitting governor and should take the responsibility to do the needful and stop complaining. He is tactically heaping up blame against Obaseki so that when the failure eventually arrives before his face, they can easily point a hand to Obaseki at the cause. Just like APC said PDP 16 years of rule was the problem and has been the problem of Nigeria. Buhari stayed there for 80 years after the 16 years and still blaming 16 years of rule of PDP. That is what they're trying to do. I'm telling you, if it's possible for Tinubu to start to blame Buhari's government, he would have started, but they're just doing it stylishly because they know that they were working together even when Buhari was in power. So the same way that the current government of Okpebholo is trying to put blame on what's his name, on Obaseki. As Okpebholo came to fail and will fail before his sack by the tribunal. Hey, somebody don't talk, you know. Edo State is so unlucky with governors. They all ran the state aground without any positive strides in the development of the people. So I would say he should be impeached immediately. Who go impeach him? Now APC there now. All they do is how to buy people with money. Honestly, I don't know the meaning of all his continuous allegations. They keep talking about borrowed money. Does he even think it is easy to see where to borrow money? To find a borrower, you need to be convincing enough. I don't even think Mr. Okpebholo is organized enough to find where to even borrow money from. He not go see you. How you want it. The problem is that if you are borrowing money, you are going to go down, articulate and present yourself, provide justifications, provide proof, provide collateral, and prove that you can pay back. You have to, analyze and explain and present your IGR to prove that, okay, from the IGR or from my location, within the next 1 to 3 months or 1 year, we'll pay finished. Okpebholo is not articulated to make such presentation and he can't do it. I know that. So yes, so just the way the governor is condemning his predecessor, those who live in glass house do not throw stones. Who said, I like the comment by Obaseki? That is lies. Okpebholo started work on the first day of his swearing in, and that is a good beginning. Okay, so somebody don't come talk him. Which working don't start. Leave him alone. Edo people voted for him. Be ready to be arrested for 25 billion naira you gave to PDP in 2016 to get a ticket and other mismanagement of funds. Don't mind the failed and unpopular governor. A man who stole the state dry. Okpebholo will undo all his scams. It's just a matter of time. Okay. The Okpebholo people don't come out. That is it. Okpebholo is not showing the true character of an Edo man in office. He is simply dancing around for nothing. I am afraid he lacks what to do with his position as governor. This God still they abuse someone better than him. Now, Okpebholo, with the way we're looking at Okpebholo, I don't know how it's going to survive. But let's see how it goes. Thank you for listening and let's have your comments.